Right, now you can work backwards to factorize an expression. You can work backwards from Plysmlt2, but you just need to know what steps to take so that you get the right answer. Now, Plysmlt2 is not a factorizing application. It's an application to find solutions. So we have to use our understanding of the relationship between factors and solutions to be able to do this, to go backwards like this. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to use Plysmlt2 to solve this first one. So go into my apps, and I have to take my shortcut to find my keys. Okay, once you're in, just enter again. Okay, Polyroot Finder is what we're doing, so it's enter one more time, and we don't need to change anything. Okay, so now we're at the screen where we can enter these values. So the coefficient of x squared is 15, coefficient of x is 1, and the constant term is -2. Okay, and we're going to solve. And there's our solution. So let's write those down. We have x is equal to -2/5 and x is equal to 1/3. So x is equal to -2/5, x is equal to 1/3. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is to change these to factors, and when we do that we have to remember to change the sign. So it becomes x plus 2/5 times x minus 1/3. Now, just in case, we need to put an a in front, in case there's another factor that we don't know at this point. Okay, so what we need to do now is for each factor is we need to multiply by the denominator to get rid of the fractions. Okay, so our next line is a stays in front, and we're going to multiply x plus 2/5 by 5, all the terms by 5, and so we get 5x plus 2. And then in the next bracket we need to get rid of the third, so we're going to multiply both terms by 3, which gives us 3x minus 1. Okay, so now we just need to check that these factors are correct, and we also need to check on the value of a. So I'm going to multiply my two factors together. So 5x times 3x is 15x plus 6x minus 5x minus 2, which is equal to a 15x plus x minus 2. Now I look at that and compare it to my original, and I can see that in the brackets it's exactly the same. So a is just equal to 1. So my solution is, remember I'm trying to find the factors here, it's 5x plus 2, 3x minus 1. Okay, and there are my answers. Okay, now question 2, we're going to try this one as well. We're going to go about it in exactly the same way. The first thing we're going to do is use Plysmlt. So I'm going to go back to the coefficient, and then if I hit zoom one more time, it clears those old numbers out of there. Okay, so I have my coefficient of x squared is 3, enter. My coefficient of x is 9, enter, and my constant term is minus 12, enter. Okay, I'm going to solve, and my answers are x is equal to -4, x is equal to 1. So I'll write those down. X is equal to -4, x is equal to 1. Okay, so same as before. The steps are to turn these into factors by reversing the sign and write an a in front. So I get x plus 4 times x minus 1. Okay, and just like before, I now expand out my two brackets so that I can see what my value of a is going to be. So I get x squared plus 4x minus x is plus 3x and minus 4. Now, when I look at this compared to this up here, I can see that a is not equal to 1. Instead, I can tell by my coefficient of my x squared term here that a is going to equal 3. So my answer is 3 times, and remember we're looking for factors, so it's x plus 4 x minus 1. And that is the solution for factorising the second question.